People say, ooh, money. But it's not. According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, money is something generally accepted as a medium of exchange, a measure of value, or a means of payment. This is paper. This has just as much value as this. The only difference is, this one doesn't have a back, and this was supported by gold. Now, every time we use one of these, our debt clock goes up. Let's refresh the screen, shall we?
There we go.
And again, once more, so that everyone can realize that every time someone spends one of these, we're required to borrow more money from other countries, causing us to be farther in debt. Our debt is growing. In other words, the American people are not fulfilling their obligation to repay money borrowed from other countries. Each dollar we save gets us that much closer to decreasing this debt. How else can we decrease our debt? We can export more than we import. We can place tariffs on imported goods to allow American businesses a better chance of selling their own products. And we can save money as a government. But how can we save money if every day millions of dollars are being donated to third world countries? For example, Haiti. If we continue to help Haiti, this debt will continue to increase. And then what? First of all, how can we expect to help other countries when we don't even have enough money to fund ourselves? We're in an economic crisis, with debt rising past $12 trillion. Yet somehow we find it better that we can sleep better at night knowing that we're helping another country, even though we can't help our own people. Our rate of people below the poverty line has also increased as unemployment rates rise. We should start with our own people first. Once hardworking Americans were forced out of their jobs, and their salaries are now donated to fund the Haiti organizations. But for what? For people who have never and will never repay that money that we are using to rebuild an already failed country that we have attempted to rebuild time and time again. We have given Haiti millions of dollars, along with many other countries. Why do we continue to empty our banks for a country that has remained the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere and the fourth in the world, even though great powerful nations are helping them? Which brings me to my next point. Haiti was a failed state then, before the earthquake, and it's a failed state now. We have given money to attempt to help, but nothing seems to work. Perhaps it's because 2% of the population owns 60% of the nation's wealth. But that can't be it, because we have given the people below the poverty line enough money so that they can be as rich as the 2%. Perhaps it's the government, where the seats of power haven't managed to prevent outbreaks or massacres without the American control. Yet when we gave Haiti the choice to boost their government and boost their economy by becoming a popular tourist destination like the Dominican Republic after the Bay of Pigs War, they turned it down. Not the government, but the people who insisted that the government was awful. Finally, the UK and other world power nations have promised and are giving money to aid Haiti in their time of need. The UK, who is in far less debt than us, has promised less because they know that we're helping them, and they're working on their own economy first, like they have been throughout history, which has made them such a powerful nation, because they work on themselves, their internal conflicts first. Why can't we do that? The UN has also approved a budget for Haiti of about $611.75 million that is being raised all over the world. Yet Americans feel obligated to add another $150 million to that budget from us alone. On top of that, American organizations have added donations to increase the amount of money going to Haiti. These organizations just popped up after the earthquake to take money away from businesses that were helping our people in America, our country, from suffering. I propose that we step aside on this matter. Why should we be the leading provider for third world nations? We, as a nation, should have our own people suffering. We should stop focusing on the outside world. We should fight for ourselves first and the world second. After all, we can't do much if we don't have the money to help them. There was recently a bill passed by Congress stating that we will continue helping Haiti and will increase our efforts to help Chile. Here's a thought though. If we are in debt and and are borrowing money from other countries to help Chile and Haiti, why can't we simply allow the countries we are borrowing from to give that money to Haiti and Chile themselves? Why should we take credit for other people's money when they can do the same exact thing, and we don't have to pay the interest? Yes, those countries do charge interest. Through my research, I've concluded that though Haiti is a suffering country filled with tragedies one after another, our people suffer as well. Though I agree Haiti needs help, why should it be us? I'll leave you with something to think about. While we attempt to help Haiti and other third world nations with their economic problems, we are digging a deeper hole for ourselves. We borrow money from the UK and China, and they charge interest. So we borrow money for a country who will never pay it back, and we have to pay that money that we borrow back, and the interest that the country charges. Money is associated with power. Debt is associated with weakness. Why do we want to put ourselves farther in debt?